welcome to a brand new edition of the Ramble on Reactions. Sitting next to me with his crazy hair is handsome Dan Nye.
Sitting next to me with his crazy hair is clever Eric Muller.
I have no idea what's going on.
Mine is if I go to sleep and then don't put anything in it and just let it dry, that's what happens. So we get some nice movement. Oh, who else had great hair? John Boyega.
Yeah.
That hard line, just in a movie called Pacific Rim Uprising. Yes.
Pac Rim 2.
Pac Rim 2, which had the coolest name, and they changed it after production.
Maelstrom?
I wanted Maelstrom. I wanted Maelstrom, but it's, it would have confused people. So
I don't even know if either title helps out with the movie in general.
Not really. Uprising, I guess, kind of makes sense.
What are the Uprising again?
I don't know. Alright, so Pacific Rim Uprising.
Takes 10 years after the events of Pacific Rim. John Boyega plays
Jake Pentecost,
who is Idris Elba's son we never knew about.
Stacker Pentecost's son.
Yep.
I mean, it's funny I'm saying Pentecost and then the S's were coming out like I was actually in church. Pentecost. So, and then you see his sister as well.
Right, you see, come back. And it's pretty much 10 years after the world is still like, hey, we're great. There's no more kaiju. And then it's pretty much... Then it becomes more or less Police Academy when John Boyega and his little sidekick get arrested for building a...
An illegal Jaeger.
Yeah, illegal Jaeger. And then they're forced back into the force to avoid jail time.
Yeah, they do kind of button up like where the story starts off pretty quickly. Because the first one is... It's open for sequels, but it's not like written in stone. And then in like... a nice little opening monologue. He's like, this is where the world is now. And then you're just kind of like, okay,
yeah.
I buy it. It's a matter of whether or not you buy that premise or not. And they set everything up pretty quickly on and then proceed to not really acknowledge it for the rest of the movie. It's kind of like, this is where the world is and this is how I'm living and that's
it.
That's it. And then the movie goes on, like you said, you get a little bit of Police Academy, you get the trainees and the younger Jaeger pilots and...
Pacific Rim, the next generation.
Yeah, upraising, upfighting, and Scott Eastwood being in this movie, doing things.
There.
The two scientists coming back, Charlie Day, and I don't know the other actor's name.
Yeah, but he's back.
I think those are our only repeat people.
Yeah, and the sister.
And then you get like the actual main crux of the plot, which is like them preparing if Jaegers would come back, what they would be doing, basically having Jaeger drones, and you see that early into the middle of the movie. It's not a big like surprise to spoil, but we won't go any further because it does
get spoilery.
Yeah, it gets very spoiler if we continue to go. But things go on, mayhem happens, you get to see Jaegers fight a lot. Yes, like rock'em sock'em robots.
Right.
So
Jaegers and kaiju fighting cats and dogs, all that fun stuff.
Give me some positives.
It looked nice.
It did.
It looked nice. I really like John Boyega and his like little girl sidekick. I wish the film would have focused more on them than splitting them up and doing more or less the I gotta be the captain now, but I'm not my father versus I gotta learn to be a part of a team.
Yes, those are the story beats, almost word for word, and then you can also tell when you're getting a little of you're getting Ruby making her debut again. You're getting more of John Boyega just letting the camera run and him being charming. Yeah, those points are very obvious.
He's really good in this.
I mean, I think he loses the devil may care attitude a little quickly for me.
Oh, a little too quickly.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm back in the game, and it's like, okay, fine. It seemed a lot of like this story was pretty much like this is where we have to go to get to the third act.
Right, because they really want a sequel.
Yeah, it was set up for a sequel. I mean, yeah, like you said, the fights were kind of interesting. I did like we were talking about the setup of the plot, how you get to the third act. I liked where it went. I really liked the direction they took this movie. It was
it played well with the world and kept in line with the rules of the world that they set up in the first movie to keep going with this second one. Yeah,
and it was really interesting. Like, I found myself, when they got on, I was kind of like, in the middle of the movie, you're like, wait, what's happening? And then as the movie kept going, you're like, that's what's happening? And it was really interesting. I really liked where it went, and it felt like I like the story. I felt the story actually held weight. Like we pointed out, there's some pretty big cliches, but if you can get by the cliches, it makes sense. Negatives for you.
Negatives. Let's see. Scott Eastwood. And women are props in this. They don't really...
Not many at all. Like, the little sidekick is there, and then...
The little sidekick's
sister and head scientist lady. That's it. You get 3 female characters.
Like, there's even one that's, like, brought in to be the love interest.
Oh my god, heavy quotes. Heavy quotes.
Now, there is a great payoff to that. I will give him credit for that. I did like that joke towards the end.
Yes.
But, I didn't like that. Also, like, with the first one, I thought they had more fun with the monster fights, especially when they're, like, using the environment. This one, it looked just like everything was already there. Like, oh, we already got our weapons. We don't need to do anything else. Because, like, in the first one, it was like, you had the moments, like, grabbing the shipping containers and using them as brass knucks, or grabbing the cargo ship and using it as a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Cool stuff like that. This one, it was more Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where, like, we all got our own swords, we all got our own weapons. Punch, kick, punch.
Yeah, and just the way they set up the film, you get the fights aren't like in the first one. There's a lot more of them, I feel like, and this one they have to write around it so much. You get a lot less confrontation, especially with kaiju.
Yeah. Well, also like in the first one, like each battle felt different.
Yes.
Because again, they're exploring like, oh, now we can do this. This one, it felt like the same fight 3 times.
I can see that as well. But that being said, like I didn't mind them setting it up like it could possibly have a sequel. Like that seems fun to me. I
also liked how this time the fights were in the daylight.
Yes, I do like it when they do make choices to do that because I know it's harder to render daylight because you're seeing that much more detail. But no, I'm with you. Aside from the cliches that are hit you over the head and the lack of like actual female characters, those are the 2 big negatives. I think the other negatives we've heard about or were story, and I liked it. I bought it. So, grade Pac Rim 2.
C+.
I'll be around there. I'll probably give it a B-. Like, it's the same thing. You don't have to rush out and see it, but it is fun, and it does add to the nostalgia. Hi, Ruby!
While Dan's getting attacked by the kaiju, it's Pac Rim 2, it literally is one of those films, like, after I got out of it, I was like, I don't remember a single thing about this. There was nothing remarkable about it, but I still had a good time with it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a fun popcorn flick. You don't have to rush out and see it. We'll put it this way. It is not nearly as bad as it could have been. Yeah. It could have been atrocious.
It could have been a hell of a lot worse, but
it's not It's not as good as the first one, but if you like big robots fighting each other with more stakes than Transformers, yeah, it's fun. So yeah.
Alright, so those are our thoughts on Pacific Rim Uprising. Let us know what you think. Are we wrong? Are we right? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please love, comment, share, and subscribe. Sitting over there petting my dog is Handsome Dan Nye.
And sitting over there watching me pet his dog is Clever Eric Mahler. As always, thank you for watching Ramble On, and ahoy, ahoy.
Anchors away.